Kundalini essentially is the reawakening of the electrical pathways of the human cerebral spinal system. And when this energy awakens, ladies and gentlemen, it turns on all of the dormant regions, energetic regions within the spinal ganglia. And it stimulates all the nerve clusters within all of the, within and around all of the ganglia. So let me just see if I can bring up a picture of a spine here, folks. Vertebra. Bear with me 1 second. This is a decent representation. Let me see if I can get a bigger one maybe. Here we go. So if you look here, ladies and gentlemen, on the screen, what you'll see is you have down here, you have what's known as the sacrum, then you have the coccyx. This is what Samael Anwar, the author of the Yellow Book and a handful of other books about Kundalini, called the coccygeal church. This region right here that looks like the tip of a scorpion's tail is where the Kundalini actually resides. It lies there dormant. And when the Kundalini rises up this coccygeal church, the coccyx, it begins to stimulate and heat up this portion of the spine called the sacrum. And if the Kundalini energy, the sexual energy, manages to start climbing up the cerebral spinal system, it starts to awaken these regions that are known as vertebra. There's multiple vertebra that constitute and make up the human spine, and there's nerves connected to all of these particular regions. So the spine right now is in a state of dormancy. We use maybe 5% of its potential. It's like we can relate it to kind of like a circuit board of sorts. It has a massive potential to carry electrical energy. Let's just put it that way. So when the Kundalini energy rises up when the Kundalini rises up the coccyx, ladies and gentlemen, and it starts stimulating all of these vertebra, as it rises up each vertebra, it stimulates the nerves and the different connective tissues and all of the other cells, the bone marrow within all of this. It stimulates all of these regions. And as the Kundalini energy rises up each of the vertebra, which again, all these little pieces right here, these are each vertebras. So there's multiple. That constitute the lumbar spine, which is here in the yellow, the thoracic spine, which is here in the green, and then you have up here the cervical spine, which is depicted in blue, excuse me. So as the Kundalini energy rises, I don't want to make this a huge fucking rant. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not trying to bore you guys. It's hard for me to fit all of this information into these videos when they're shorter and when they're not long. So as the energy rises up each of these vertebra, it stimulates psychic centers and awareness in parts of your physiology that are currently in a state of dormancy. So when the energy fully rises up the spine, if it does, which is very uncommon, it gets into the head here, which you see me circling on the screen right now, and it completely awakens the entire brain spine connection, and all of these nerves and all of the connective tissue and everything connected to all of your spinal ganglia, ladies and gentlemen, now become hyper illuminated and you experience enlightenment. When all of these vertebrae in your brain are fully filled full of the purifying fire, the electricity of Kundalini, when the energy is moving up this divine circuit board, this, your central nervous system, all of the pieces of what makes you who you are, you now can see reality you can see reality the way you were designed to experience reality. What the Matrix has done, and I'm going to wrap this up really quickly, folks. I apologize. I talk about Kundalini often, but it's important. This is how they're mind controlling us. They've turned this energy off. What the Matrix has successfully done is they've successfully caused and we've participated in it with our karma as well, ladies and gentlemen. We've actively participated in and we've shut our Kundalini off. It's gone from here, what you see on the screen right now, the head, and like Satan falling down into the pits of hell, which is what the whole Kundalini, what this biblical story of, Satan falling down into hell. Hell is this region down here. It's the coccyx. The heaven, our head is heaven. The head is heaven, excuse me. When Kundalini has gone back up the 33 steps or the 33 vertebra of God, ladies and gentlemen, it gets into the head and it allows you to experience heaven consciousness. There's a handful of different mechanisms of how this works. For instance, the divisions, the left and right lobes of your brain get unified. Your cerebellum, your prefrontal cortex, your dura mater, your pia mater, everything starts to become hyper illuminated. All of the cells hyper illuminate and you experience consciousness. Heaven consciousness. This is what the saints had attained through sanctification. They were people who just had their Kundalini awakened. That's besides the point. What's happened here in hell, in the Matrix, is that our Kundalini energy has fallen like Satan down into the realms of hell, which you see here on the screen right now, which is the coccyx. The Kundalini lies in this region, which is the red region of the root chakra, which most people associate red with hell, with heat, with fire. That's besides the point. Let me just get back on track. What I'm trying to convey here with the Kundalini rant here, ladies and gentlemen, is that this is how they've turned us into zombies. By successfully causing, or by us not having our energy working, by us not having the electrical energy of God moving through our cerebral spinal system, causing us to become enlightened through Kundalini, it has fallen down into the pits of hell here, and now we see reality with our cerebral spinal system primarily focusing or conducting energy in this particular region of our spine. So essentially we have all of this for the Kundalini energy to rise. And as it rises up the spine, it eliminates the chakras. It rises up two specific paths known as the Ida and the Pingala. These are two nerve channels. They're also known as nadis, that the Kundalini energy rises up when it does awaken from the coccyx. It also moves up. There's three primary channels, folks, that Kundalini rises. It rises up a main channel that you can see on my screen right now. I'm trying to kind of depict it. This channel is like an astral and etheric tube that goes directly through the inside of the spine, and then around the spine, wrapping in kind of like a double helix, there's two pathways called the Ida and the Pingala. So let me see if I can bring up another depiction on my screen right now, and I'll show you exactly what I mean instead of just explaining it. Here we go. You have here a central channel, and then you have two pathways, the Ida and the Pingala. They're related to the sun and the moon. There's a handful of different dualistic associations that they're associated with. I'm not going to get into it in this video. What I'm trying to convey here, folks, is they've turned us into a zombie by shutting us off from this energy. Because when we don't have this energy moving through us, we operate like a zombie. We operate in a very small fraction of our potential. And that's why you see so much crime right now. That's why you see so much miscommunication. It's why you see so much, just hell on earth. And I know it may not seem like that to you if you've never really pulled your head out of your ass and taken a good look at reality. The system does a really good job of making things seem really honky-dory here in the United States. The system does a really good job of keeping people from really having a true glimpse of what's really going on here, ladies and gentlemen, with all of the factory farms, with all of the cloning facilities, with all of the research facilities where they're doing just horrific experiments with different branches of psychiatry and psychology. But why should people care? Why should you care if everything's going okay for you? Why should you care if you can go to college? Why should you care if you can work a peachy 9-to-5 job? I wanted to personally thank you for watching my videos and contributing to the growth of my channel. I could not do this without you, and your interest in my content is truly what motivates me and fuels my passion for making these videos and spreading my message. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I wanted to remind you that this channel is a free educational tool that is listener supported, and if you would like to donate to my channel and donate to my cause, help make my life a little bit easier and help keep the lights on around here, you can do so by checking out the links in the description box below. There's a handful of not only ways to donate to my channel, but I also have links to different websites and different videos of mine, as well as my Amazon store, where you can check out a plethora of different health related products that I use and recommend. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your continued interest in my message, and until next time, peace be with you all.